Coliseum was a major project for Hamilton with the goal of increasing tourism and providing a venue capable of accommodating 18,000 people for music and sporting events. To reduce the harms of short-term and event-based travel surges on visitors and locals, our team focused on the following challenges, being increased traffic pressure during event days, strain on transport capacity, parking overflow into residential areas, and increased pedestrian accumulation around Bay Street entrances. Our objective is to improve public transit availability and connectivity for visitors while maintaining the needs of local residents. Here, we have used the provided data sets to identify key areas and services impacted by these issues. Major areas of interest to our research include the TD Coliseum, GO stations, Hamilton Center, and West Harbor, parking lots near the venue, and emergency service stations. Using HSR survey information, we identified areas of high traffic frequency which coincide with streets approaching the venue. This map helps to illustrate the current traffic and safety issues surrounding the Coliseum and the focus of our proposal. To address these issues, we have developed 3 proposed solutions. One is identify parking lot distances from the TD Coliseum, highlighting walkability and potential for new event day transit options. 2 is creation of an event-specific HSR route connecting the GO transit stations to the venue. And 3 would be encouraging GO train usage with free rides post-event and increased accessibility when using the new HSR routes. I'll now pass it over to Natalie and Bryn to run through our potential strategies.
So we used buffers of 400, 750, and 1200 meters to identify parking lots that are less than 10 minutes walking distance from the Coliseum, 10 to 15 minutes, and 15 to 20 minutes. Roads directly around the venue in red experience high volumes of traffic during events. We want to push people to park in the further lots, especially those ones down there over in the east, to reduce the congestion directly around the venue. Many of these further lots also have electric vehicle chargers, as you can see on the map, which we think can entice people to park in those lots. And these lots have been selected for developing a new HSR route to shuttle people to and from the venue.
Going on to that point, our second solution is the creation of city bus routes to accommodate the influx and outflux of visitors at the venue. We targeted parking lots further from the venue, like Natalie said, for the bus route development using buffers and street attribute features to inform our analysis. This proposed continuous route aims to divert arrivals and departures to the 2 main GO transit stations, being West Harbor in the north and the Central GO station in the south. The route is beneficial because it avoids Bay Street, which is sometimes closed on event days. Instead, it drops people off on York Street in front of gates 7 and 9, which addresses the issue of increased congestion of pedestrians in gates 1, 2, and 3 on Bay Street. Running the bus at 10-minute intervals is feasible. We mapped out the completed route and it would take approximately 30 minutes. So having 3 buses staggered 10 minutes apart would mean 10-minute intervals to drop people off at the Coliseum. You can see here that we have a proposed parking lot at the north end, which leads me into the second component of the solution, 175 Stewart Street. This is a lot that's currently being used for outdoor temporary housing for unhoused community members in Hamilton. The City of Hamilton phrases this as a temporary solution as the city works on long-term permanent shelter solutions across Hamilton. Given this, once a permanent solution in the city is implemented, which is hopefully soon, the location shows potential as a parking lot to reduce parking pressure near the venue. It's comparable in size to the City Hall parking lot that we highlighted earlier, which contains around 400 parking spots, and it's conveniently located very close to the West Harbor GO station, so our proposed bus route would have a stop that would allow people from the bus and people who drive to make their way to the Coliseum using public transit.
So our third solution is to increase the GO train usage at the West Harbor GO and Hamilton Center GO station and control pedestrian flow to and from these stations. So based on survey data from the Coliseum, there's a large portion of attendees from Toronto. Both stations are serviced by the Lakeshore West train from Toronto. The West Harbor train GO station also has a train coming in from Niagara, and the Hamilton Center GO has many GO buses from around the GTA. So the proposed HSR route will be hitting these stations every 10 minutes in that 90-minute window before events. And after the event, the HSR route will bring large volumes of people back to the stations, allowing for quick dispersal after the event and reducing congestion in that direct area around the venue. To encourage this, we want to partner with GO Transit to offer free rides home after large events. And for those who choose to walk from the station to the Coliseum, we have these walking routes which follow the bus routes that were developed, and they're marked with signage and event staff and are directing pedestrians to gates 7 and 9 on York Boulevard rather than 1, 2, and 3 on Bay Street to avoid congestion in that area. So here's our proposed timeline for implementing our solutions. Short term, we want to conduct initial testing of the proposed HSR route with temporary bus stops for the upcoming Disney on Ice shows and Juno Awards in March. We want to test to see the impact of this new route on parking, congestion in the area, and GO train usage. Info about the new HSR route will be shared on the TD website or emailed out to ticket holders so they're informed about this. Long term, once a permanent solution is developed for the current temporary housing on 175 Stewart Street, we can develop a new parking lot there. And finally, for event day management, there's initial setup required for signage along the walking routes, especially from both of the GO stations, and then that HSR route and that 90-minute window before coming in 10-minute intervals to shuttle people towards the venue. But based on the size of the event and also the demographic of attendees for the events, we realized that not all events at this venue will require the proposed HSR route.
There are numerous additional components that would need to be considered for the implementation of our proposal. Among these components is the implementation of directional signage and event staff, like we mentioned earlier, the aid in the flow of incoming attendees. Additionally, clear and consistent communication with transit authorities will be necessary to sustain smooth operation of the bus and train routes that we're proposing. And conveying the bus and train routes with emergency services would allow them to efficiently respond to potential emergency scenarios on the days of events. So our proposed solution would benefit several groups of people listed here in various ways. Most importantly, event attendees would benefit from the frequency and proximity of transportation to and from the TD Coliseum. Residents would experience reduced crowd spillover into residential areas surrounding the venue. Hamilton city planners are able to implement a cost-effective, time-effective, and minimally intrusive solution that has long-term sustainable results. Local transit users will be able to use regular public transit systems without additional crowding before and after events. And lastly, fewer cars parking on the streets surrounding the venue will result in enhanced resource accessibility for first responders, including fire hydrant access, improved response times, and reduced road and traffic obstructions. To address the event-based travel demand around the TD Coliseum, our group proposes the following ideas. 1. Identification and utilization of parking lots and areas to direct traffic away from congested areas. 2. Creation of an event-specific bus route to ease transportation strain before and after events. And lastly, encouraging GO train usage to reduce transportation by car and downtown congestion. These 3 strategies can be implemented using majority existing infrastructure, creating an efficient